What if I told you that last night your name entered a conversation you were never supposed to hear, and what happened next left everyone speechless? Imagine this for a moment. A simple question is asked. Nothing dramatic, nothing planned. Someone turns to your person and casually says, "So, what do you really think about them?" In that instant, the atmosphere changes. The room grows quieter. The masks people wear every day begin to slip. And suddenly, a truth that has been hidden beneath the surface for a very long time starts to emerge. Most people believe they can hide their deepest feelings forever. They convince themselves that silence is enough to keep their emotions buried. But the human mind doesn't work that way. What is emotionally significant always finds a way to reveal itself. Sometimes through actions, sometimes through reactions, and sometimes through a single answer that changes everything. Last night may have been one of those moments, because when your person was asked about you, they didn't give the answer everyone expected. What came out wasn't a rehearsed response. It wasn't a polite remark. It was something deeper, something honest, something that exposed feelings, thoughts, and emotions that had been quietly growing in the shadows. And what they revealed shocked everyone who heard it. Hidden feelings are rarely hidden because they are weak. More often they are hidden because they are powerful. Human beings have a natural tendency to protect what matters most to them. They guard their deepest emotions behind logic, caution, and silence. They tell themselves that keeping certain feelings private will maintain control, prevent disappointment, and protect them from vulnerability. Yet emotions do not disappear simply because they are unspoken. They continue to exist beneath the surface, influencing thoughts, decisions, and behaviors in ways that often go unnoticed. When someone develops a strong emotional connection to another person, a quiet inner conflict can begin. Part of them wants to express what they feel openly, while another part fears the consequences of being fully seen. This tension creates a divide between what is experienced internally and what is revealed externally. The result is often a carefully constructed image that hides the depth of what is truly taking place within. To observers, the person may appear calm, detached, or unaffected. Yet beneath that appearance, a completely different reality may exist. What makes hidden feelings so fascinating is that they have a tendency to reveal themselves indirectly. They appear in small moments rather than grand declarations. They emerge through subtle changes in tone, unexpected concern, prolonged attention, or an unusual interest in someone's life. These signs are often dismissed because they seem insignificant when viewed individually. However, when seen together, they create a pattern that points toward a deeper emotional truth. The unconscious mind constantly seeks expression, and even when words are restrained, feelings find alternative paths through behavior and reaction. There are moments when circumstances remove the opportunity to hide. A direct question, an unexpected conversation, or an emotionally charged situation can bypass the defenses that normally keep emotions concealed. In such moments, a person may respond with a level of honesty that surprises both themselves and everyone around them. The answer may contain more warmth, admiration, appreciation, or emotional depth than anyone anticipated. What shocks listeners is not merely the content of the response, but the authenticity behind it. They sense that they are hearing something real, something that has existed for a long time beneath the surface. This kind of revelation often occurs because the mind can only suppress important emotions for so long. The greater the significance of a feeling, the more energy is required to keep it hidden. Over time, maintaining that emotional barrier becomes increasingly difficult. Eventually, a moment arrives when sincerity breaks through the protective layers. What was once carefully guarded suddenly becomes visible. The truth does not emerge because the person planned to reveal it. It emerges because the feeling has become too meaningful to remain completely buried. When hidden feelings are finally exposed, They often change the way people see a relationship. Others begin to recognize connections that were previously invisible. The individual expressing those emotions may also gain a new understanding of themselves. What was once uncertain becomes undeniable. The feelings that lived quietly in the background move into conscious awareness, where they can no longer be ignored. In that sense, hidden feelings are not simply secrets waiting to be discovered. They are emotional realities waiting for the right moment to reveal the depth of their presence. The unconscious mind is one of the most powerful and mysterious aspects of human experience. While people often believe that their conscious thoughts control their actions, much of what shapes behavior, attraction, emotional attachment, and decision-made operates beneath awareness. The conscious mind represents only a small portion of the psychological world, while beneath it exists a vast reservoir of memories, emotions, desires, fears, and impressions that continue to influence daily life. Even when a person believes they have moved on from a feeling, forgotten a memory, or dismissed an emotion, the unconscious mind may still be carrying it, preserving it, and allowing it to shape their perceptions in subtle ways. Many emotions begin their journey in the unconscious long before they become conscious thoughts. A person may find themselves drawn to someone without fully understanding why. They may think about a particular individual more often than expected, feel affected by their presence, or experience emotional reactions that seem disproportionate to the situation. Because these experiences do not always fit within the logical explanations of the conscious mind, they are often ignored, rationalized, or pushed aside. Yet the unconscious continues its work quietly, connecting experiences, assigning meaning, and building emotional significance beneath the surface. The unconscious mind does not communicate in direct language. Instead, it reveals itself through symbols, feelings, impulses, dreams, and spontaneous reactions. It often speaks through moments that catch a person off guard. A casual question, an unexpected memory, or an ordinary conversation can suddenly trigger a response that feels deeper than intended. In these moments, people sometimes reveal truths they did not plan to share, because the unconscious mind briefly bypasses the filters and defenses maintained by conscious awareness. This is why unexpected honesty can emerge during simple interactions. When someone is asked about a person who holds emotional importance in their life, their unconscious feelings may become activated before they have time to carefully construct a response. The answer that follows may contain genuine admiration, affection, concern, or appreciation that has been quietly developing for a long time. What appears to others as a surprising statement is often the result of emotions that have existed internally for months or even years. The unconscious has simply found an opening through which it can express itself. The influence of the unconscious mind becomes especially noticeable when people attempt to suppress their emotions. Suppression does not eliminate a feeling, it merely moves it out of conscious awareness. The emotional energy remains active, seeking expression in indirect ways. Someone who insists they are unaffected may become unusually attentive. Someone who claims not to care may react strongly when the other person is mentioned. These contradictions often reveal the difference between what the conscious mind believes and what the unconscious mind continues to feel. Human beings naturally create psychological defenses to maintain stability and protect themselves from discomfort. These defenses can hide emotional truths even from the individuals experiencing them. However, the unconscious mind consistently works toward expression and integration. It seeks to bring hidden emotions into awareness so they can be acknowledged and understood. As a result, moments of unexpected truth are not accidents. They are often the visible outcome of an invisible psychological process that has been unfolding beneath awareness for a long time. The unconscious mind continuously shapes emotional reality, revealing its presence whenever sincerity breaks through the barriers of self-protection and hidden feeling. Unexpected admiration is one of the most revealing forms of human emotion because it often develops quietly, without announcement or conscious intention. Unlike emotions that are openly expressed and easily recognized, admiration can grow in silence. It begins with observation. One person notices qualities in another that capture their attention, spark curiosity, or inspire respect. At first, these observations may seem insignificant. A person's kindness, resilience, confidence, wisdom, or unique way of viewing the world may simply stand out among countless daily interactions. Yet over time, these small impressions accumulate and create a deeper emotional response. What makes admiration unexpected is that it frequently develops beyond the awareness of the person experiencing it. Human beings often focus on obvious emotions such as attraction, excitement, or affection because these feelings are easier to recognize. Admiration, however, can remain hidden beneath the surface for long periods. A person may not immediately realize how much they value someone's presence or how deeply they respect their character. They may simply find themselves paying closer attention, remembering details, or thinking about that individual more often than they do others. The unconscious mind plays an important role in this process. It constantly evaluates people and experiences, searching for qualities that align with deeper psychological needs and values. When someone possesses traits that resonate with these inner values, admiration begins to form naturally. The individual may not consciously decide to admire the person. Instead, the feeling emerges gradually as the unconscious mind recognizes qualities that it considers meaningful, inspiring, or important. This process often happens without deliberate thought, making the eventual realization feel surprising. Unexpected admiration frequently reveals itself through behavior rather than words. A person may become unusually interested in another's opinions, achievements, or well-being. They may listen more carefully when that person speaks, or remember details that others overlook. They may feel genuine happiness when the individual succeeds and concern when they face difficulties. These reactions are often dismissed as ordinary kindness or friendship, yet they can indicate a deeper emotional investment. The admiration exists beneath the surface, quietly influencing attention, perception, and emotional response. There are moments when this hidden admiration becomes visible. A direct question, an unexpected conversation, or a situation requiring honesty can create an opening through which these feelings emerge. Someone may suddenly express appreciation with a level of sincerity that surprises everyone present. Their words may reveal a depth of respect and regard that others never suspected. The surprise comes not because admiration itself is unusual, but because its intensity has remained concealed. What listeners hear in that moment is not a new feeling, but one that has been developing silently over time. This type of revelation often carries significant emotional weight because admiration is connected to recognition. To admire someone is to acknowledge their value and influence. It is an admission that they have affected the way one thinks, feels, or views the world. Such recognition requires vulnerability because it means admitting that another person's qualities matter. Many individuals hesitate to make this admission openly, fearing judgment, misunderstanding, or emotional exposure. As a result, admiration frequently remains hidden until circumstances encourage greater honesty. When unexpected admiration is finally expressed, it can change perceptions on both sides. The person hearing it may realize they have had a far greater impact than they imagined. The person expressing it may also gain clarity about the depth of their feelings. What once existed as a quiet and unspoken appreciation becomes a conscious acknowledgement of another person's significance, revealing a truth that has been present long before it was ever spoken aloud. Breaking the social mask is one of the most revealing experiences in human psychology because it exposes the difference between the image a person presents to the world and the reality that exists within them. Every individual develops a social mask throughout life. This mask is not necessarily a form of deception. Rather, it is a psychological adaptation that allows people to function within society, maintain relationships, and navigate the expectations of others. From an early age, individuals learn which emotions are acceptable to express, which thoughts should remain private, and which aspects of their personality are most likely to gain approval. Over time, these lessons shape a public identity that often becomes so familiar that people begin to mistake it for their true self. The social mask serves many purposes. It protects people from rejection, criticism, and emotional vulnerability. It helps them appear confident when they feel uncertain, composed when they feel anxious, and unaffected when they are struggling internally. In many situations, this mask is useful because it creates stability and allows individuals to meet social responsibilities. However, the more a person relies on this external image, the greater the distance can become between what they show and what they genuinely feel. Important emotions may remain hidden behind a carefully controlled appearance. This separation between the outer self and the inner self often creates tension. Deep emotions do not disappear simply because they are concealed. They continue to exist beneath awareness, influencing thoughts, reactions, and behaviors. A person may appear emotionally detached while privately experiencing intense feelings. They may act indifferent towards someone who occupies a significant place in their thoughts. The social mask helps maintain the appearance of control, but the emotional reality remains active beneath the surface. The most fascinating aspect of the social mask is that it cannot remain perfectly intact forever. Human beings are not machines capable of maintaining complete emotional control at all times. Certain situations have the power to weaken the barriers that normally keep inner feelings right hidden. A meaningful conversation, a moment of vulnerability, an unexpected question, or a discussion involving someone emotionally important can create cracks in the mask. When this happens, genuine emotions often emerge before the person has time to suppress or reshape them. These moments can be surprising because they reveal aspects of the personality that others have never seen. Someone known for being reserved may suddenly speak with unusual warmth. A person who appears indifferent may reveal deep concern. An individual who normally avoids emotional expression may unexpectedly share admiration, appreciation, or affection. The contrast between the public image and the authentic response is what captures people's attention. Observers realize that there is more beneath the surface than they previously understood. Breaking the social mask is not simply about revealing emotions to others. It is also about revealing emotions to oneself. Many people become so accustomed to their public identity that they lose contact with parts of their inner world. They may genuinely believe they feel less than they actually do. When the mask weakens and authentic feelings emerge, the experience can be just as surprising for the individual as it is for everyone around them. Hidden emotions move from the unconscious into awareness, creating a clearer understanding of personal truth. These moments often carry a sense of authenticity because they are unplanned. They are not carefully rehearsed or strategically presented. Instead, they arise naturally from a place that exists beneath social expectations and protective defenses. The emotions revealed during such moments tend to feel more genuine because they originate from the deeper layers of the personality rather than from the image designed for public viewing. The temporary collapse of the social mask allows the true emotional reality to become visible, exposing feelings, values, and connections that have remained hidden behind appearances. The impact of authentic truth is far greater than most people realize because truth possesses a unique psychological power that cannot be easily imitated. In everyday life, people are constantly surrounded by carefully chosen words, social expectations, and conversations shaped by convenience rather than sincerity. Many interactions remain on the surface, allowing individuals to communicate without revealing what they genuinely think or feel. While this approach often helps maintain harmony and avoid conflict, it can also create distance between people. Authentic truth, however, operates differently. It cuts through appearances and reaches a deeper level of human connection because it reflects something real rather than something constructed. Authentic truth is powerful because it originates from genuine experience. It is not designed to impress, manipulate, or satisfy expectations. Instead, it emerges from an honest recognition of what exists within the individual. When a person speaks from this place of sincerity, their words carry emotional weight. Even simple statements can have a profound impact because listeners sense that they are hearing something genuine. Human beings are remarkably sensitive to authenticity. They may not always be able to explain why certain words affect them more than others, but they often recognize the difference between a rehearsed response and a heartfelt expression. One reason authentic truth has such influence is that it requires vulnerability. To speak honestly about meaningful emotions, personal beliefs, or important relationships often involves risk. There is always the possibility of misunderstanding, rejection, or judgment. Because of this risk, many people avoid complete honesty, choosing instead to remain guarded. When someone sets aside those defenses and expresses a deeper truth, the act itself becomes significant. The willingness to be emotionally exposed communicates sincerity in a way that carefully controlled responses cannot. Authentic truth also has the ability to disrupt assumptions. People form opinions about others based on behavior, appearances, and previous interactions. Over time, these perceptions become fixed. An individual may be seen as emotionally distant, indifferent, or unaffected. Yet, when they express a genuine truth that contradicts those assumptions, the effect can be startling. Listeners suddenly realize that there is more beneath the surface than they had imagined.